we've got to talk about gold and the gold miners. That's the only market that is working right now. I've been telling you about this since the beginning of the year. You should be up nicely with great profits. Fantastic, congratulations, especially in this market. However, now that everybody's jumping on the gold miners and gold, there are warning signs that you need to know about. I would not buy gold mining stocks at this level and instead prepare the watch list for correction because I think that is coming. Let's talk about it.
Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks and month.
Okay, so let's start with the gold price. Here is the chart. What else do we need to say? We're above 3,200. Who would have thought this like a week ago? Incredible performance. There are three reasons why gold is going up. First reason is dollar is breaking down. We'll talk about that in a second. We have talked about this for a month here on this channel. You knew this would happen. It's actually happened more viciously than I anticipated. Second reason is safe haven. We have extremely high uncertainty in the market. So that is not good. Nothing drives the market more crazy and creates more fear than uncertainty. The market can live with bad news as long as they know the facts, because then they can adjust the models and act accordingly. But uncertainty, you don't know what to do. You cannot use models, right? A Nike, a Lululemon, they have no idea what they're going to do right now. What do they do with their production in Vietnam? Do they bring it back to the US? How high will the tariffs be? You'll see that the earnings season that's starting next week, the calls, they're going to be a mess, right? Of the CEOs trying to give an outlook for the rest of the year. Okay, third reason, we'll get to that in a second. Let's look at the dollar because this is important for the gold price. As you know, we have a negative correlation, which means weak dollar, good for gold, and we see this here in perfection, right? The dollar is breaking down. This is the Dixie. So this is the US dollar against the basket of currencies. The euro makes up about 50% of it. And as you can see, if we zoom out, I've been telling you this since February. We got in here, right? I remember very clearly the video when I said, if the dollar breaks back into this range, expect it to go at least to the midpoint, but probably to the low point of the channel. This is exactly what has happened, right? Did I anticipate it to break down this fast? No, I did not. I am completely honest here, right? The purple line you see here is the 200. We're clearly below it. Bearish. And then today is happening. So yesterday, it was fine. We touched the lower end of the channel, oversold, fine. And now we are breaking below it. And you even see this lower blue line here. If I zoom out, you see this is the last line of defense for the dollar bulls. This goes back to 2022 and then this pivot low in July 2023. We break below this and right now we are massively oversold in the dollar, but those are big time bearish signals. And that obviously is good for gold. Now, let's talk about this real quick because this will be important for the price action in gold and therefore in the gold miners. Trump loves a weak dollar. We know this. I pointed out in past videos that in the first year of the first Trump presidency, the dollar went down sharply. So that's fine. Lower dollar is good for the US export. So that's positive, especially if the US consumer is going to have problems. Second positive factor, lower dollar, or for example, a higher euro, that acts kind of like an additional tariff on international companies that want to export goods into the US. So Trump kind of gets his wish, obviously not in the same size, but it's a positive for his policy if his plan is to bring back production in the US and get international companies to build plants in the US. However, too weak a dollar is no good for the US and definitely not good for the Make America Great Again Trump narcissist perception that he likes to give off. Okay? Because the currency of a country is basically the business card of its economy. If it breaks down, it's a sign that the economy is not doing well. And that's something that Trump most definitely doesn't want to represent. So, what does that mean? I believe that the dollar is overdue for a bounce, and then we'll see if we'll be able to build technical structure around parity. Because of that, I expect gold to top out soon and at least go sideways. Now, let's go back to gold real quick. We saw the last corrections, they were pretty minor, right? Here, this is nothing. Here, this is nothing. Here, this is not. Everything gets bought up. Every correction gets bought up. So I expect more something along the line of this, a little sideways action with a minor drop. Not good enough to short, for sure, right? But definitely some correction is coming, as you can see here in the RSI. We're getting in the oversold territory where in the past, here, correction, consolidation, correction, consolidation, correction, consolidation, right? Minor correction, consolidation, where in the gold price, we basically have consolidated previous gains. That's why I anticipate. And this would be triggered by a stabilization in the dollar. How can Trump do that? Well, for example, announcing tax cuts, right? Anything to stabilize the US consumer and the US economy. That will work. Quantitative easing, anything like that is now on the table. That's why in this market, with this president, you don't want to be short. I know you look really smart and it looks brilliant if you short the market and it goes down. But as we saw with the face-ripping rally a couple of days ago, if you're short and then you get caught in one of those face rippers, you're finished. So don't short the market, don't short gold. But if you're in the gold miners and you're up really nicely, right? Take some profits. Take some profits, take some money off the table. Will the mining stocks go higher this year? Yes, absolutely. This is the best chart in the market. Not even close. Let me remind you, if we go to the long-term chart, right? We are finishing up a big 13-year-old base formation, bottoming formation. So we have the rally in the mining stocks. I'm not going to say it's just getting started. That's not fair. That's something that the super bulls like to say. As you can see, we're clearly already in it. But we are basically in the first period, right? End of first period, beginning of the second period. So the first period is the bottoming formation. Second period is the rally part, when the majority of the investors start to get aware of, oh wait, the gold mining stocks, I haven't looked at those in forever. Now let me do my homework and see what's going on. And then the third period is obviously the blow off top, the rally, when the explorer starts to jump, when stocks of companies that have some land in Uzbekistan and claim to have great oil fields there quadruple in like a week, right? Because the hype is there. But we are far away from that. So we got a long way to go with the gold miners rally. But that doesn't mean that we should get blinded by it and not act accordingly. And right now, we are seeing a hype. We're seeing a flight to safety where the money now is just pouring into gold and in the gold miners, because that is the only market that is working right now. So the second we have a stabilization in the dollar, in the bond market, that's the important thing, the uncertainty goes out. The money will flow back into the high beta names like the Mag 7s, the AI stocks, the ARKs of the world, right? And that will lead to a consolidation. I don't think it's going to be more, but a consolidation of the gold mining stocks. And that then is our chance to buy it, because right now we have some gold mining stocks. They're getting quite expensive, like an Alamos Gold, which I saw at the Mining Forum Zurich last week, which is an excellent company, but it has a PE ratio of like around 40 now. That's like tech level valuations. And even though they deserve a premium because it's a great company and they really got everything going there and gonna have massive free cash flow growth, 40 PE, that's a lot. So safe haven, dollar weakness, and the money flow, because it's the only market that's working. But again, that is the one thing that will reverse. However, all the fundamental factors for the gold rally are still in place. All the fundamental factors for the gold mining stocks, for the producers are still in place. Be very, very careful if you invest in developers and in junior explorers. Why? A lot of them need money. They will use this current elevated prices to raise money. We'll see a lot of capital raises in the coming weeks. Pretty positive about that with the small mining stocks. And it completely fair. I would do the same if I was managing one of those companies, right? You need money. It's uncertainty. We don't really know what's going to happen. You get elevated stock prices right now, take advantage of it. However, that will deteriorate their capital structure, which is one of the big problems with the junior explorers and the junior developers, right? That their stories sound great, their projects might even be great, but you look at the capital structure of these companies and these stocks, and they're pretty terrible. Right? And the only way out is either a hype like we're seeing right now, or that they get taken over. Anyway, it's the weekend. Have a good weekend. Don't fall into blind euphoria. I have been hammering, whatever you want to call it, for gold and for the gold producers for 8 months, non-stop. And we're right. Nobody made more money this year than us because we're in the right sector. And this will continue, but I'm telling you also, now with the euphoria, with everybody pouring in, with CNBC and mainstream media talking about gold and the gold producers and how all the stocks are going up, we're a little overdone here. Let's take a step back, keep our cool, do our homework. starting next week, I'll present some companies to you that I like, that I'm looking at, gold, silver sector, and then you do your own homework. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.